Our home, Mother Earth, is full of life, where various inhabitants live across her plane. 71% of the surface is covered by water. Another 29% is covered by 6 continents. In this 21st century, most of the lands are flooded with us, human civilizations, except the South Pole. Some say aliens and UFOs from other planets have visited Earth with their advanced technologies, and their traces have been hidden in the South Pole for a very long time. Antarctica is located at the southernmost point of the Earth with 14.2 million square kilometers in size. It's the 5th largest continent and nearly twice the size of Australia. It's smaller than Russia, but it's bigger than the rest of the countries in the world. 335 million years ago, Africa, Eurasia, Australia, North and South America, and Antarctica were once part of a single, giant continent called Pangaea. It was centered on the equator and surrounded by super-ocean Panthalassa. According to geophysicists, Antarctica was a warm tropical climate without any ice and snow, and suitable for most of the living creatures. And then, by 175 million years ago, the supercontinent Pangaea began to break apart, eventually forming the modern continents and oceans. Antarctica slowly moved south for millions of years to settle at the Earth's South Pole. Everything started changing to very cold temperatures. Ice and snow built up 1 to 2 miles, even 3 miles all over the continent. Animals and plants were finding difficulty to survive in this severe temperature. Most of the animals were slowly being killed by the storm. Plants wouldn't survive, herbivores starved, and the rest of the living creatures, obviously, being frozen to death. Today, 97% of the surface of Antarctica has been covered by snow and ice, and is known for being the driest, windiest, and coldest continent on Earth. 90% of the Earth's total ice and 70% of fresh water is located in Antarctica. The average temperature is at minus 50 degrees Celsius. The lowest temperature ever recorded was in August 2010 when it hit mind-blowing minus 94.7 degrees Celsius. There are no native Antarcticans, no permanent residents and citizens. People who visit Antarctica are scientists, military personnel, and some curious tourists who are very interested in penguins. So what exactly have we found? With the extremely cold temperature, fossils are very well preserved. Tropical forest fossils have been discovered continuously. The discovery of the first root network of the ancient forest was during the expedition drilling into the seafloor near the South Pole. These elongated skulls have abnormally big backside, and they seem more like aliens. The skulls are similar to the skull found in Egyptian pyramids and the crafts of Mayan civilization that preserved 40,000 years ago. Fossils of ancient animals have also been found frequently in Antarctica as well. You're right, dinosaurs. The fossils average over 1.7 million years. The discovery led researchers to conclude that dinosaurs lived on Earth 200 million years ago. In August 2003, a Navy SEAL lieutenant commander who called himself Spartan 1 contacted Linda Moulton Howe. He was assigned to Antarctica to extract a scientist who'd been photographing and studying thousands of glyphs and symbols that resemble Egyptian and Mayan. Spartan 1 traveled half-track from the American McMurdo base inland to the Beardmore Glacier region. He saw the top of a black, octagonal alien structure that was carved with the glyphs and symbols. When Spartan 1 arrived at the structure, the entrance was a huge door with crafts of a star map. He revealed a huge 9-acre room when he entered. Another surprising fact was the outside temperature was at least 40 degrees Celsius below zero, but it was 23 degrees Celsius inside without any power generator. Spartan 1 revealed that he talked to a few aliens which appeared to be in human form. They were all humanoids, and they have more than one race. Humans have been talking to them since 1950s and 60s.
They seeded us.
Back in August 2017, a cigar-shaped interstellar object called Oumuamua was discovered by Robert Byrd in Hawaii. Some scientists believe Oumuamua is not a comet, but an object that was built by extraterrestrial lives because it has a unique non-gravitational acceleration. Usually, when an object is coming towards the sun, the pull of the sun's gravity will cause the object to speed up, and the velocity reduces when it's going away from the sun. But Oumuamua was speeding up when it was leaving the solar system. It has a red body color, and it is at least 10 times more shiny than a typical comet. A person named Kim from the NSA Cyber Command told Spartan 1 that they're working with the aliens for interstellar trade. He also said that Oumuamua is not a comet, but an old spacecraft from another world. After World War II, December 1946, Admiral Richard Byrd commanded 4,000 troops, warships, and planes on a top-secret expedition to the South Pole known as Operation High Jump. This program presents information kept from the public about secret Nazi bases, UFOs, and the race with Germany to find a secret passage under the ice, leading to a hollow realm within the Earth's core. During a mission on 19th of February 1947, a mysterious world was discovered by Admiral Byrd and his radio man who flew on the same flight. After 3 hours into the flight, both magnetic and gyro compasses on the plane began to gyrate and wobble. Literally no message could be sent or received through the radio. Admiral Byrd then flew into a cloud, and beyond that, green mountains, a river, and a large hairy animal that appeared to be like a mammoth. Not far ahead, Admiral Byrd spotted a city. At this point, a couple of disc-shaped flying objects came to the side of his plane and his radio crackled. A voice came through in English with a German accent saying,
"Welcome, Admiral, to our domain. We shall land you in exactly 7 minutes. Relax, Admiral. We're in good hands."
The engine of the plane stopped, and it was being maneuvered by a strange force, and eventually the plane was being landed. Several tall men with blonde hair approached Admiral Byrd with the invitation to meet the master. They boarded both Admiral Byrd and his radio man to a small platform-like conveyance, and soon they arrived in a large building. Everything in this inner world was by far thousands of years more advanced than the surface world. All the vehicles were levitated. The master told Admiral Byrd,
We have never interfered before in the race's wars, but now we must. Our interest rightly begins just after your race exploded the first atomic bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Your race has now reached the point of no return. Our emissaries have already delivered messages to the powers of your world, and yet they do not heed. Now, you have been chosen to be the witness here that our world does exist. You see, our culture and science are many thousands of years beyond your race, Admiral.
After the US dropped 2 atomic bombs in 1945, the inner world sent flying machines called Flagarats to the surface world to investigate what the rays of the surface world had done. They tried to contact the surface world with the Flagarat, but were met with hostility and being fired. After the message was delivered, Admiral Byrd and his radio man were being sent back to the surface world to deliver the message to the leaders of the world. Sadly, the moment he returned to the United States, he was detained for 6 hours and 39 minutes by the top security force and a medical team. He had been ordered to remain silent in regard to all that he learned. The world that we're living in right now is a reality that has been constructed and spoon-fed by higher authorities. Will there ever be a day when we'll know what's truly real? UFO images being found by netizens on Google Earth. Hackers exposing information and images from the government's top secret databases. UFO being newly labeled as UAP. And US government creating a dedicated task force for it. New and old stories being covered up. Scientists gone missing or becoming mentally disordered in Antarctica. And lastly, nobody, literally nobody can visit Antarctica freely without presence of authority. What are they trying to hide from us?